Little boy found an egg in the trash, and it was still warm. He carefully put it in his pocket to keep it warm and went back home with his father. What could be inside? Back home, the boy quickly ran to his room and found a small basket. He lined it with paper to create a makeshift incubator. Turning on a desk lamp, he ensured the temperature was just right. In the soft glow of the light, the boy could glimpse a tiny life inside the egg. Eager to break free, he placed the egg in the basket and sprayed some water to maintain the humidity, hoping that the little creature would hatch soon. But hours went by, and there was no sign of any change. The boy patiently waited, and waited some more. 2 days passed, yet there was still no movement. Just as the father called the boy to go camping, he sprayed some water on the egg once again. But at the moment he turned to leave, the egg gently trembled. The boy and his father left the house, leaving the egg behind. The following day, as the dawn broke and warm sunlight filled the room, the silent egg finally cracked open with a small gap. A chubby beak repeatedly struck the shell, causing the crack to widen more and more. After a day and a night of relentless effort, the little creature finally broke free. It turned out to be a small yellow duckling, and the egg was discarded by the duck seller at the farmer's market. A few days ago, the boy had seen the newly hatched ducklings at the seller's booth and was captivated by them. Unable to resist, he gently stroked their heads. As evening fell, the farmer's market was about to close, and there was still one unhatched egg left, which happened to catch the boy's eye. Believing it to be a bad egg, the seller threw it in the trash. The boy was shocked, but it also gave him an opportunity. He retrieved the duck egg from the trash, and that's how he ended up with this cute, fluffy little creature. The small yellow duck climbed onto the table, despite its wobbly steps, and ventured out into the new world, unaware of the lurking dangers. Little yellow duck accidentally fell off the table, luckily landing softly. It stumbled from the bedside table to the bed and climbed up to the top, sliding down a blanket like a slide. It landed under the bed, discovering a pile of forgotten toys. Curiously observing everything, it unknowingly triggered a chain reaction. A toy spider began chasing it, scaring the little yellow duck. Next, a set of teeth toy activated, and the duck desperately searched for a hiding place. Ah! This spot is perfect. It dove into the boy's hoodie, finding comfort and warmth, and fell asleep without realizing it. When the boy returned from camping, his first instinct was to check on the duck egg, but all he found in the basket was an empty shell. He assumed that the recently hatched duckling hadn't strayed far and began searching around. However, he perfectly missed the hoodie. At that moment, the father came with a dirty laundry basket, and the little duck was fast asleep. The father tossed the hoodie, with the little yellow duck still inside, into the basket. Just as the duck poked its head out, it was covered by the thick clothes. Terrified, it dared not make a sound, motionless as the clothes were put into the washing machine. Although the little yellow duck knew how to swim instinctively, this was definitely a life or death situation. Was its duckling life going to end right after it began? Not yet. Miraculously, it narrowly escaped. With a dumbfounded expression, it wandered around the room. Meanwhile, the boy became shocked upon seeing the spinning washing machine and rushed to check the clothes heap, once again narrowly missing the duck. The duck then found itself in the kitchen, the most dangerous place in the house. Suddenly, hunger struck, and without hesitation, the little yellow duck climbed into a bag of food. In the next second, it was lifted and placed on the cupboard by its father. When it emerged from the bag by the window, it was astonished by the vast world outside. While it was captivated by the view, it noticed something enticing, a pool of water. Unable to resist, it took a leap and jumped in. However, in the next second, its happiness turned to disappointment. After all, it was still small, and its feathers didn't produce oils yet, causing it to quickly get soaked. It had to quickly climb out, or it would surely drown. With all its strength, it managed to pull itself out, but the danger wasn't over since it was now chilled due to its wet feathers. Thankfully, the father lit the gas stove and left the kitchen, seizing the opportunity. The little yellow duck hurriedly ran over and enjoyed the warmth of the fire as if in a sauna. After its feathers dried, the temperature gradually increased, and it had to leave quickly, or else it would become a roasted duck. But how could it get down? It felt an impulse to fly, but its wings were too small. Nonetheless, it decided to give it a try. Amazingly lucky, the little duck realized that it was too dangerous there and desperately wanted to escape. At that moment, the timer started vibrating, slowly pushing a fruit knife closer and closer. Fruit knife was about to fall, and the little yellow duck looked confused and alarmed. It quickly left that dangerous situation, but as soon as it emerged, a big bird landed behind it. Startled, the duck hurriedly hid behind a wooden stake. It was a pelican. The little yellow duck dashed away in a panic and accidentally ended up in a chicken coop. The mother hens were diligently incubating their eggs, and the duck hoped to gain some attention, but the hens closed their eyes, dismissing it. Well, can I take a nap here? So the little yellow duck slept soundly, feeling safe for the first time. But was it really safe? The coop door had been left unlocked. In the middle of the night, a North American possum sneaked in, targeting the delicious eggs. As an egg fell, the mother hens woke up, while the possum happily feasted on the eggs. The little yellow duck suddenly woke up, bewildered, and let out a confused quack. This caught the possum's attention. Duck meat tasted much better than eggs, so the little yellow duck quickly escaped. Just in the nick of time, it used its physical advantage to squeeze into a hole and fortunately escaped. It seemed that the outside world was even more dangerous, so it went went back through the small doorway and returned to the warm room, making its way to the living room with ease. It discovered a soft, furry bed in front of the fireplace and joyfully quacked. But to its surprise, the bed opened its eyes. Oops, sorry to disturb you. The awakened cat was furious and decided to discipline the little yellow duck. Trembling and shaking, the duck sought refuge under the table. Fortunately, the boy appeared in time and prevented a bloody incident. He happily held the little yellow duck, gently stroking it, and the duck felt the kindness, mistaking the boy for its mother duck. As the boy did his homework, the little yellow duck accompanied him, and they even chatted on the bed at night. However, the secret was soon discovered by the father, who strongly disapproved of the boy taking someone else's duck egg without permission. So, he took the boy back to the marketplace and returned the hatched little yellow duck to the seller. The boy was heartbroken, but he understood that it was the right thing to do. Without the little yellow duck, the boy became dispirited, playing with his toys aimlessly. Just then, the little yellow duck suddenly appeared at the door, followed by its siblings. It turned out that the father had brought them all back. They would be there to accompany the boy, growing up together and living happily. Everyone encounters difficulties and setbacks, just like the newly hatched little yellow duck, but as long as you bravely face them, a new world will surely follow after adversity. Keep going, and you'll become better and better.